One, two, and we are live once again. What is up, Top Shelf family? We have some top shelf conversation to be had. We need to have some top shelf conversations. What I'm trying to say. I want to get my brothers in here so we can chop it up. One second, one second. We're gonna get my brothers in here and we're gonna chop it up because we have some top shelf conversation. What's up, Jeff?
What's good? What's good, my guy?
Good. Chilling. See
What is
people
good,
rolling in here.
everybody?
What'd you say?
No, I was just saying, what's up, everybody?
Okay. Yeah. People coming in. Come on in.
What's up, George? What's up, Danique?
What's going on, my guys?
What's up, Ant? How you doing?
Ant?
Feeling
Ant,
good.
where you at, bro?
That's what I'm about to say.
You like
Anthony, you traveling?
Huh?
You traveling?
I wish.
You sound like you in a hallway.
Sound like he in the bathroom.
Nah, I'm not in the hallway. I'm live and direct in the living room.
Oh,
From
okay.
the living room.
All right.
I like it.
I got kicked out.
Oh, word? Wifey kicked you out, son?
Wifey did kick me out. She has a session. So she's gonna be on session from now to 9:30. So I said, let me find a different spot. Hope you guys can hear me loud. I'm gonna try to project my voice a little bit louder today. If you can't hear me, please let me know.
Nah, you're good. But hold on. Your wife is in a session. But let everybody know what type of session it is. Go ahead and promote your wife, my G.
Sipping the Finding Bros. This is a good conversation. This relates to the conversation that we're gonna have tonight. Just about that person that's in your head. And she does an amazing job talking about that impostor syndrome. She has multiple clients, man, and she's doing an amazing job. Simple redefining. And she goes by Janelle, and her last name is Legacy Thompson.
I love it, man. Shout out to my sis, man.
Y'all can hear me loud and clear, right?
Absolutely.
All right, yo, we're gonna go in tonight. Go ahead.
Okay,
but before we go in, let me pray real quick.
Yeah.
The Lord God, I just want to say thank you, Lord God. Thank you, Lord God, for allowing me to be a part of conversations that sometimes are uncomfortable. Allow this podcast to be a conversation that you are always in the forefront, Lord God. Allow this conversation, the podcast, production, to change the way we look at just your word, just the relationship we have with you. Allow our voice, allow our experience, allow our stories, allow our past, allow our hurts to be related to you, Lord God. And say, without you, we can't do anything else. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
While I sing my... Yo, what's going on, everybody? I hope you guys... Yo, do me a favor. I'm in my Diddy mode right now. Please do me a big favor. Go share this live with somebody.
Hey.
Share with like 3 to 4 people. Let them know we're having a community conversation, a town hall where we are about to just talk and have a conversation. But we need you. All right?
Yeah. Hey, I love that. That's what's up. Anthony, what are you drinking on tonight? Could we please
know? I'm drinking on that Uncle Nearest Black owned, baby.
That's it.
That's right.
I love that.
Signed by the Mad People Gang. My bro Jeff is the sponsor.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. I love it, Uncle Nearest.
Bro. Yeah, so you missed out, Fred.
Yo, man, my bad, bro. It's been a lot. Look, when I tell you my world has been going upside down. So prayers up to my nephew who's in the hospital still. He's fighting infection right now. Yeah. So this has been, my week is upside down. My wife is in Greece. You know, a lot of stuff is going on.
Well, just know I was gonna put you in the headlock over the weekend. So just know that. Just know that. All right.
I already know.
Yeah. He said, oh, okay.
Okay.
Just know that.
Yeah. So but right now, more than anything, I still thank God because we are in the land of the living. Everybody's good. For the most part, family's still on top. you know, and still rocking together is making us closer than ever. And yeah, I think that's primarily what it's been, man. And Anthony, I'm so glad you had an amazing time and you got a time to
shout out to
celebrate
my beautiful
your
wife.
day. Because I mean, I know it was monumentous. How did that whole day go for you?
I think it's not even a day; it was just a whole weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So, as you know, I am a diehard. Sometimes my pride get against me, and with my pride, I sometimes tell Janelle, I don't want no party. I don't want nothing. You don't gotta give me anything.
Mm-hmm.
But truly and truly, I do want something.
Yeah.
And she did an amazing wellness day on Saturday. We went on a hike with amazing people. I want to be honest, I did take steps. I had to stop, take my asthma pump, but I kept on going. I had to sit. Jeff was like a trooper. He had his stick. He was ready for anything that might happen. And then we went to the brunch.
And that's the last time going hiking too. That's the last time. Never again.
I tell you, it's serious.
Don't say never, but
it's serious. It's serious.
And then we went on brunch. And then we went to an amazing spot. I think it's in South Orange. They're not a sponsor, so they come to sponsor. But there's a dope brunch spot in South Orange, and then we stopped. And we got some time, and then my bro Rob came to Jeff's house, and we played some NBA 2K. We were able to fellowship, talk about life, talk about brotherhood.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I really wanted. It was an opportunity just to have conversation with my brothers, with people that I love. And then we went to, so you know, I'm transitioning my life into tech. We went to this amazing spot in the city where we did like some Squid Game kind of adventure. And then we did that. That was Saturday. Then Sunday, I told my wife, like, I want my last day of my birthday weekend to be with my mom, my dad, and her mom, and that. We went to a nice, dope restaurant. Because of the marathon, we couldn't go to Kokomo, but we went to this dope Italian restaurant. Yeah. I've never been to Italy. One day I will go to Italy, but how do you?
Absolutely. Yeah,
I think I love when we go to places and they serve you with excellence. It's not no color. It's not the money you have. They didn't serve you because you came into their establishment.
Yeah.
I felt honored. I gave her a good tip. And the way they served, it was like family style. So you know how normally in a Caribbean culture or American culture, you have your rice and peas and your chicken. But with this kind of restaurant, it was like one dish at a time. So it felt like an 8-course meal. So there was different dishes coming out every minute. I really, truly enjoyed myself, man. Truly enjoyed myself.
That sounds very
good, man.
I have to say I'm still enjoying my birthday. My birthday is a whole month. So if you guys want to enjoy it with me, let me know. Pull up. I would like to go for free to the boil.
Even though,
I told you we gotta go to the range.
Oh yes, the gun range, definitely.
You gotta go to the range for your birthday.
Everybody gotta wear their Jordans.
Why? What is that about? Because we black, Anthony?
Because he got a
drive-by?
Because I got my first pair of Jordans sponsored by my bro Jeff. I never had Jordans before, so I'm honored that I finally got my first and last pair of Jordans. So I'm honored.
Never say never, like you said. Never say never.
Only Jordans I'm buying for my kids. But they might get Pumas.
Whatever you do.
Pumas are dope too. Don't sleep on Pumas. I got a couple Pumas in my closet.
Yeah,
matter of fact, I got a Puma hoodie right now. You know they're not sponsored, but they could sponsor.
Yeah. No, they very comfortable. Pumas are very comfortable, man. I had 2 pairs of them, workout shoes, very comfortable.
Love it.
Let me tell you. But let's get into this topic. Tonight we're talking about. I've been just watching. Just a couple different things, like a couple different shows, some documentaries, and I was wondering to myself, I came up with this topic after watching a couple podcasts.
Yeah.
And it was we worry more about the people that are clapping for us versus the people that are not.
Yeah.
You know, just because like I was thinking about it in terms of like we think about support, we think about people pleasing, we think about all these things are in that bucket because when we young, we learn support from a kid, from a child's age, and then you start to get in your head like, okay, I know this person's gonna be there, I know that person's gonna be there, I know this person's gonna help. And the certain people in your life, like let's say we start with our parents, right?
Yeah.
If we start with our parents, our mother and father, we be like, oh yeah, mom and dad is always gonna be there. They're gonna always come to my basketball games or my football games because they always show up, right?
Facts.
Then there's that one day
they don't show up.
They don't show up,
or they keep on not showing up.
Or let's say if they always cheered you on at these games. But one day they just don't clap for you, or they're silent, or their response just changes.
Yeah,
that can affect you so freaking much. So it's one 100%. Part of like not showing up, and then it's just like that. I'm here, but the response, the pattern is different. Your pattern has changed.
Yeah.
So do you fellas, y'all want to speak to this?
Oh man, this is
deep.
I love these topics. I think we're entering in 2023. I know everyone thinks about like their year of like reflection. What have I done on things of that nature? Have I failed? And that thought came to my mind on my birthday. And I'll be honest with you, I love being transparent. I think that's one thing about me. It's like I felt like, damn, do I have the things I need to have in life? Can I afford this? Can I afford that? Where am I at life? And then you begin to wonder, it's like, damn, I'm about to turn 40. No offense, my bro. I'm about to turn 40.
You got a whole nother 5 years.
Well, hold on. I'm about to turn, but this is my thought. I'm about to turn 40. Can I catch up to 40? What am I going to be like when I'm 40? Those are thoughts that I believe every black man has to go through. Or anybody has to go through. So you get that little thoughts in your head. You get those little thoughts in your head and you begin to start to say to yourself, am I being my authentic self? Or, as I said in the beginning of this conversation, am I having an imposter syndrome? Is everything around me so big? Everything so around me so humongous where it's like, yo, bro, just enjoy the little time that you have. Just enjoy today. You're never going to get back today. And that's why this weekend was so powerful because it allowed me to reshape how I think about life and enjoy the friends around you.
What's up, Celeste?
Enjoy the people around you. So to this conversation, I think we really have to talk about when was the last time somebody clapped for you and you realized that person was important?
That's a good thing. That's a good point, Anthony. I think too, sometimes we focus a lot on the quantity as opposed to the quality, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes I remember when I was younger, right? I had thrown a birthday party, right? I had passed out invitations. I did everything myself. And this is in Kansas City. So I passed out invitations. This was like the first party that like my mom didn't throw for me. I think I was still at home, but I was in college, and I threw my mom allowed me to throw a party at the crib, right?
Okay.
So I threw the party. I passed out invitations. She was like, my mom was like, they gotta be out by this time. They gotta be in by this time. You sponsoring the food. You doing all of this, right? So I invited everybody. I had the music playing, you know. I used to DJ on my mom's parties, so I had the music, you know, in the background. I was happy.
Oh, really?
I was excited, bro. And so then I had the food. I had wings and all that stuff, little sandwiches and stuff made. Like I had some punch in the back, you know what I'm saying? It was a little, you know, it was a little spiked up, you know, but it was in the back. And I had people that came through. I had friends that came through. I had I had invited a total of like almost 30 people, 35 to 40 people probably. And like, I want to say, what was it? I think it was like 10 people showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But here's the thing, right? God taught me a lesson in that though. Because
At
I was
that
just
moment?
looking, yeah. It was like God taught me a lesson in that. I was just like, oh, so-and-so didn't make it. Chelsea didn't make it. So-and-so didn't make it. I'm thinking about all of these people in my mind. And then my cousin James, he had to remind me, he was like, bro, but the girl that you like is here. Like,
Yeah.
bro, your cousin is here, bro. Like,
Yeah.
your best friend is here, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Your brother is here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't about the quantity of people, it's the quality. And we wound up having an amazing time. Like, an amazing time. We was going into the wee hours, bro, bumping songs, talking about old times, eating, drinking, having a great time. And then, you know, when a lot of people heard about the get together, whatever, they was like, oh snap, man, I'm coming to the next one. I was like, yo, I'm done with parties. I'm doing no more parties. No more parties. I'm just like, I was like, yo, I learned my lesson that day. It's not about the quantity, it's the quality.
Yeah. I use this.
I think that
go ahead, bro.
No, no, go ahead, 'cause I don't want you to lose your thought. Yeah, go ahead.
Just a 30-second thought. I did this to program myself, because I get big, and I had like a huge anxiety when parties happen. And people don't really know that. People think that like I'm like this happy go happy. Yeah, when I'm there, I'm like, yo, I'm great. But I have an anxiety when I'm like, damn, I wish this person was here. Damn, I wish that person was here. But one thing I did in my 10 seconds is when I was 20 and I used to do events, I said to myself, who should be there will be there.
Mm-hmm.
And once I did that, my anxiety went away. And that's why I just enjoy the moment and the memories.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no, and that's good. And I was going to actually echo the same thing. I think sometimes we get caught up in the amount of people who want to be there, and because we all want to be celebrated in some shape or form, right? We want to be championed, especially by people that we appreciate, people that we love. We want to be supported. We want people theoretically to kind of like clap for us, right? I think if anybody was to say that they don't care for that, I think they'll kind of be lying, or they're not being really transparent. They're not really being honest. It doesn't mean that you want like a whole crowd, but to those who matter to you, like your parents, your partner, maybe your children, your friends, close friends, whoever, right? Like, it does feel good to hear that, hey, I'm happy that you did this, or yo, what you did was amazing, it was dope. Like, you're getting supported. And I think just to kind of piggyback on what both of you guys are saying is that it's the focus on who continues to show up versus the ones who don't really show up. You know what I'm saying? And just kind of look at that. Don't look at the number like what Fred was saying. It's not the quantity. I would say it's not the quantity, it's always the quality. Mm-hmm. Right? With anything in life, it's never the quantity, because you could have a plethora of different things, but if there's no value into it, then there's no point. You know what I'm saying? But you can have one or two things that has extreme value, and it's going to outweigh all the other stuff. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it is with friendship.
Got it.
Hi, Teray and Celeste's mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think those are the most important things sometimes to kind of like, you know, we got to kind of like focus on and look at, because there are going to be people who may root for you, or you may think they're rooting for you, but they're not really rooting for you. They're in the background wishing something different, right?
Absolutely.
And you know, unfortunately, those are things that does come with the territory. But again, you don't focus on that. You can't. You have to try really not to worry so much who is going to be in the background clapping for you. Mm-hmm. Focus on those who are surround you, that are there for those pivotal moments.
I say, oh man, I put I put the hat on, like self-care is the best care.
Mm-hmm.
Apparel is definitely coming soon. Please look out to a IG, Facebook near you. That's a real quick plug. But I think that is where self-care comes in.
Yeah.
Because when you begin to understand yourself, and you say, for example, after this event, fuck, like, damn, I really wanted that person to come. And then you're like, what about me that I feel this way? What about me that makes me feel like I needed this person to come or I needed that person to come? Because
Mm-hmm.
you're now auditing yourself and saying,
Right.
okay, Anthony, there's something that you felt. Never, I
Good
always
point,
say,
Celeste.
don't be afraid to examine your emotion, examine your feelings, examine why you feel the way you feel. Because you begin to now say, okay, now when I do it again, I'm
Yeah.
okay to be able to say if 10 people show up out of 20, I'm
Yeah.
good. 12 people show up, I'm still good.
Right. I know.
Because you audit yourself in the beginning.
Absolutely. To your point, Anthony. So let's put. Also, let's think about. It's important to focus on how you feel. Am I proud of myself? Am I happy with what I've accomplished, etc.? She said,
Yeah.
I've been doing that with my kids so that they don't
Ah,
feel like they need validation from other people, which is excellent, Celeste. Thank you for doing that with them because I
yo.
feel like with the media will
Woo.
feel like all this media and all these things from TV, the internet will always make you feel like you need followers. If you don't
100%.
have followers, you don't have people following you. If your numbers are low, then you're not good.
Yeah.
You're not going to be in a good place mentally.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that creates this terrible toxic mentality like I can't be on my own. I can't be independent. I can't operate and cheer myself up. I always need to lean on someone or
And what
something.
100%.
and what scares me in that thought
Yeah.
you just said, bro,
Yeah.
because you so
What's up, Ayana?
because you normalize you have to be with somebody so
Mm.
much, you don't even know how to be with yourself.
It's called codependency, right?
Ooh.
That
Mm-hmm.
codependency joint. It's like if I honestly, because think about it, I'll see people in relationships. Like I've had friends in relationships that they'll tell me, oh, I've been with this person since we were friends at 10 years old and we've known each other. We lived next door. Then we dated at 14 and then we
Mm-hmm.
kept dating all the way up until 21 and I've known nothing else. And then they get to 25 and 26 and they're like, I don't know who this person is. I'm like, because you develop this
Yeah.
codependency on this person and you
Yeah.
make this person your whole entire world.
Yep.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, and it's not but have you taken time, like Celeste and Anthony were referencing, to find out who you are, figure out
Mm-hmm.
as an individual, like apart from
Mm-hmm.
this person, not saying you've got to break up with them, but I'm just saying like apart from this person, what's my identity?
Yeah,
I,
your title shouldn't. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, go ahead, bro.
Go ahead.
I forgot my thought came.
That
somebody
quickly?
somebody
Yeah.
No. Never mind. What I was gonna say is that that's when you're not careful with that, which I always reference is that's how that person can sometimes become your idol. And what you got to learn is that um, you have to. We all wear many hats, right? And what I mean by wear many hats is Anthony is an educator, right? That's one hat. He's a husband. That's another hat, right? He's a brother. That's another hat. He's a son. That's another hat, right? Fred, you're a husband. That's one hat. You have your career. You're into AT&T. That's another hat. You're a comedian. That's another hat, right? You're a son. That's another hat. You know what I'm saying? And so forth and so forth. Same thing with me. I have many different hats, and we lose ourselves, right? Sometimes the main hat that we put on end up being what the person that we're with or that we're codependent on, and they define what your title is or who you are, right? So now you don't know who you are. You've lost yourself. They're telling you what your hat is, right? And you lose
Mm.
yourself.
Come
The
on in,
main hat that
everybody.
you should have, is, or the number
Yourself.
one hat out of all the other ones is yourself, right? Everything else
Yeah.
should just be a branch
Yeah.
off of it, right?
Yeah.
But you yourself should be the main source of foundation with God, obviously, but should be the main source of the foundation of who you are. So everything else just kind of just an extension of you. But if you are lost on like, because you're so codependent on an individual, whether if it's a friend, whether if it's a spouse, whether if it's our parents sometimes, whoever it is, or sometimes even like kids, you'll see that some parents, they're codependent on their kids because like, have you ever seen like a mom, right? Or even maybe a father, right? Where they never got married, right? And their child, they live their life through their kids, right? And they become very codependent on their daughter or their son to the point it can easily start affecting their relationships. You know what I'm saying? Because of the codependency, because now they feel they're being replaced. Anybody that comes in becomes a threat.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? They easily become a threat to that codependency that they have because they have this fear. And it's like, okay, now this person's taking my space. I can't do that. So they start purposely doing things to sabotage and ruin that relationship because they're so codependency. Like that codependency, it's so dangerous. And sometimes people don't realize it. They don't know
Thank you
they
for
don't know
saying
how
that,
to
bro.
be, like you said, they don't know how to be by themselves. They don't know how to like break that chain off and like, yo, let me kind of just live my life. Let me go ahead and figure things out. Let me be happy with who I am and live a life that's not going to be based off of this person.
Yeah. I think one thing I've learned being married to my beautiful wife is allowing her to evolve and allow myself to evolve, and we still can grow together.
Yes.
A lot of time people are scared for their partner to evolve because they have this thought that if my partner evolves, they will think that I'm not good for them. I'm not good for them anymore.
Yeah.
And because you've not did any audit with yourself and said, okay, evolving is beautiful. And you're communicating with your partner every day because you're evolving.
What's up,
But when
Stephanie?
you become codependent, you just begin to say, okay, you married January 12,
What's up, Ange
2009, and you're still the same person January 12, 2023.
Mm-hmm.
Because you haven't evolved and you now have normalized this behavior that you're doing. And what you said was so key is like, you don't even know that it's happening.
You're blinded.
And you're blinded. And because that person was talking to you in your head that's saying, you can't do anything else but this. The only thing you could do is be a wife. The only thing you could do is be a husband. The only thing you could do is come home and go back to work, come home, go back to work, come home, go back to work. But that shouldn't be life. So
yeah. I think Anthony, that's like what you said is key, and I want to actually touch on what Jeff said too about the kids part of you. I think sometimes when parents are codependent on their kids, they can create this unhealthy thing where the relationship becomes fractured, right? Because then it's like now you're strategically sabotaging your child's relationship because you can't get with the status quo changing. You know what I'm saying? You're not used to your son or your daughter having having a spouse, right? Or you're not used to your son or your daughter having like a partner, somebody that they're building with. So it's like they're not calling you as much. They're not coming over as much. They may not be checking in as much. You know, they may not be like treating you the same like you want it to be treated. You know what I'm saying?
They become very spiteful.
Like Anthony was saying, like, and to your point, Jeff, there's an evolution that comes with relationships, right? Yeah. And if you see your child evolving, as opposed to if there's somebody, of course, bringing your child down, then of course you say something, you interject, right? But if you see them evolving with this person, and it's different for you being the single person on the other side, you have to be able to say like, yo, I was a person before I had my child, and just because I've gotten used to them for 20 years or so and so years,
this is
being this way, I gotta get used to this change, this new flow.
I think I don't know if Celeste or Teray still on our page, but Celeste does an amazing job of just showing her journey of motherhood, and being able to show that journey of like, yes, I'm a mother. Yes, I'm an amazing social media manager. Yes, I'm a virtual assistant, but I take time for myself. I take time for journaling. I take time for prayer. I take time. And thank you so much for using your platform for positive image. Because some people use their never mind. But like
that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah,
that's a podcast.
But I say that because you see the example, and it's not like she's doing this for the gram. If you meet her in person, it's the same exact person you meet in. Sometimes you ask yourself, "Yo, do you get upset?" Like, but in the same token, it's like, hey, that is what an example should be like. I'm taking time for myself, and that is okay.
Yeah.
I know we had this conversation like way back in the day. Like I think it was like maybe our second video. And I remember saying to one of y'all, I was like, yo, if my wife wanted to go up in the hills or go to the mountain just to pray and take that time, I'm going to allow her to. Yeah. Why? Because maybe she needs that time to be by her people.
Yeah,
she knows her sister.
To the mountains.
Damn, I feel like Jeff. I don't see nothing, but what do you call it? But taking that time for her, taking that time for herself, because guess what? She's gonna be a better wife for me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be a better husband for her.
Absolutely, 100%, man. Listen, man, I always encourage that. I strongly encourage anybody and all couples, all married couples, partners, whatever, like to take time for yourself, allow your spouse, allow your partner to sometimes go off on their own. When I mean go off on their own, like to have an outside life.
But don't go to Greece though,
right? You know what I'm saying? Because but that's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Because the reason why is that Fred and his wife, or just any couple, you need that time apart. You need that times like, okay, you know what? Hey, go to Greece. Do what you got to do. When you come home, I'll be here. Because when I was just about to say that as my wife is on the chat, she says that, I always remind her to take care of herself first. Like I get on her about that because I see that she can get so caught up into not only work, but even with me sometimes. And sometimes I will tell her like, yo, babe, don't worry about it. I'm going to be good. Like I want her to still be independent.
Powerful.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of always being dependent on me, because before I came in the picture, you had your life, right?
Absolutely.
And I don't want that codependency. I'm not saying she's like that because she's not codependent. You know what I'm saying? She's not. But it's like you're able to go out and do what you need to do. If my wife goes to Chicago for work for a couple of days, babe, I'll see you when you get home. I'll pick you up from the airport, I'll drop you off and everything. Have a good time, enjoy work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just like with Fred and his wife, you know what I'm saying? She's in Greece right now, for those who don't know. Sorry if I put it out. Well, I didn't put it out there. Anthony started.
It's out there. It's on the Instagram.
I actually put it out there.
It's on the Instagram.
Because my wife going to LA tomorrow. I get.
Hey, busy wives, busy lives.
But it's a good thing though. It's like where you guys when it shows trust, it shows that you trust your spouses to be able to go out and like do what they need to do for their careers. Yeah. And not only that, let's say it was just like a girls' trip, a girls' vacation, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? That they're able to go and enjoy themselves. Again, the many hats that they wear, right?
Absolutely.
One of the hats that they wear is not only their career, but being friends and sisters to other people. Just like when Ayana, through this amazing, they had like she owns a book club, and they had like a book club retreat in the Poconos. And a lot of the women went out there, including my wife, including Janelle, Anthony's wife. I think Teray was there, Celeste was there, many different women, right? Yeah, they were there for like the weekend. And it was amazing. Not once I was like, yo, when's my wife coming home? Yo, what is she doing? What is she up to? No. listen, I told her, babe, go out there, enjoy yourself. I actually even told her, Ayana could vouch for this. I said, make sure she puts her laptop down.
Facts.
Make sure she's not working. I
Facts.
told her before she left, don't worry about me. You're with your girls, enjoy yourself. Why?
Exactly.
Because I do not want you to be codependent on me.
Yeah.
You need that time, because then now when she comes home, we miss each other more, and then we could be able to like really appreciate each other more. But again, that too. But the most important thing is like she's able to still not only be herself with me and even without me, but she's able to like, yo, I could still experience life and still enjoy my husband too. Like he doesn't always have to be next to me. Yeah. I can have my own identity as myself, you know what I'm saying, and still come home to my husband and still be his wife.
I think
absolutely.
I love this, and my dad always said this, and I literally just realized why.
Hey, Mary-Linda
said this. He said, "You're a man first," and when he said that, I'm now realizing from this conversation, like, yes, I'm an amazing husband. Yes, I'm an amazing educator, but I'm a man first. I got to be able to 100%. Once again know who I am, know what my life is like. Yeah. My wife, she's 30 years old. She's never been 30. She's never been 31. She's never been 32. She's still got to be able to know herself. I'm just a part of her journey.
Absolutely.
I'm just literally a part of her journey. God has placed me in her life, and I'm going to make
What's
sure.
What's up, Femi?
Femi!
What's up, Femi? What's good, bro?
Nobody in the chat, but anyways. I got to make sure she's doing herself. So if that means like, you know what, babe? You and your friends go to a pole dance class. Why? Because I still want you to know yourself, who you are, and being able to explore yourself in a sexual way. Because you might not even be thinking about that. Mm-hmm. So those are the things that we are evolving.
And you
not saying that she's gonna tell me to go to a strip club, but that's a different story.
I think there's a reason why Anthony told you wants to go to the pole class.
Anthony wanted to
know because if she learned pole dancing, she ain't gonna do that at home. But anyways, that's a different topic.
Anthony said, "I need that." No, what I wanted to say was like, you know, what's crazy is like I always think about conversations, right, and communication, and how can we be more open. And me and Sabina, we actually had this conversation before we got married. We had the big conversation like, hey, what if I had to go on a business trip? Hey, what if I had to go here, go there? I'm like, yo, if you elevate, I elevate. If I elevate, you elevate, yo. It's not, there's no like, oh, no, you can't go on that trip. That's where, that's what, that's why. Like, why you got to go? Why you got to do that? You know what I'm saying?
But there's people like that, bro.
But there are people like that. I understand that. But hey, know what you signing up for too. You know, people, if it's all about behavior and actions. Know what you're signing up for. My wife, Sabina, told me last Wednesday, right? She was like, hey, babe, I got an opportunity with my job to go to a conference in Greece, in Athens.
They pay for the ticket?
How do you feel about this? I'm like, listen, if it's me, Greece is on my mind.
Oui,
like,
oui.
It's me?
I'm like, oui, oui.
Anthony, that's French.
That's French, bro. That's a...
Sorry. I'm from Brooklyn. My fault. I skip awesome studies.
Anthony said, I ain't got no training, yo. No,
they speak Greek, not French.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that, like, I want to see my wife become a butterfly, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not never ever here to stop growth. Like, anytime she wants to hang out, kick it, whatever, I'm for it. I'm like, yo, go hang out, go be with your girls, do it. Like, she always worried about me. She's like the same way, Jeff. She's always worried about, but what are you going to eat? What are you gonna do? I'm like, listen, I lived 30 years before you. 30 years before I met you.
They got Uber Eats.
Yeah, that's what I said. They got Uber Eats. You know what I'm saying? I chef up and cook my own breakfast because I'm a breakfast king over here. Mm-hmm. And you know I'm making my coffee. So it is what it is. Like, I'm more concerned about, like, yo, first and foremost, of course, your safety, mainly. And I know you're going to be covered by God. So when you're going to go in God, You're going to grow in God while you're there. And like and absence makes the heart grow fonder. So when you come back,
100%.
guess what? Guess what's going down? Guess what's going down? Like I'm gonna be waiting for you at the door. You know what I'm saying? It's a 7-hour time difference, so she ain't gonna see this probably until later. Well, look, she'll be getting up in a little bit, so just know that. But I definitely agree with Jeff, and I definitely agree with Anthony. It takes that energy, and like, yo, support your wife, and like, yo, don't cut that off. Don't stop that. Be open, because you don't know what that could bring. You know what I'm saying? That could bring something new that y'all could try together. You know what I'm saying? With your partner and everything like that.
You got to command and demand it.
I think about, I don't know, I'm thinking about Job in this conversation when he turned around and said, curse who? Curse God. What the hell? Why am I going to curse God? Mm-hmm. And at that moment, if he didn't have his own self-care, even Job, if he didn't have his own self-care, he could be like, you know what? I can't curse God. But because he had that relationship with God, because he had that understanding of God, he's like, nah, I can't do that. So I use that analogy, I use that thought, and ask myself, how do we as men, how do we as kingdom men be able to not have imposter syndrome, even in church or even just in journey?
Anthony, can you do me a favor? Can you break down for those who don't know in the village what imposter syndrome is?
Say no more. I got it up here. I actually got it up here. It's my
a
part of my Anchor and Stitcher and Top Shelf podcast.
Okay.
So imposter syndrome is a syndrome that allows you to think about other people but yourself. So once again, imposter syndrome is you have basically an identification of other people but yourself. So you take on other people's identity.
So with that, it starts off of what you said early on, and one of the things that I've echoed, and one of the things that my OG has always echoed, that like, and we're speaking as men, right?
Yes,
is that know who you are as a man. Like, it's really that simple. Like, you know who you are as a man. Like, the moment you wake up, you know you're a man. Like OG says all the time, the moment, like, every step that you take, understand that you're a man. Like, nobody should tell you differently. So once you know and not identify, but once you know who you are, then that's it. You don't need validation from anybody. You don't need anybody to tell you anything. It's, again, I'm not saying this in the context of like, you don't seek wisdom, you don't listen to sound advice, you don't listen to your spouse, because sometimes, you know what I'm saying, your spouse could give you good counsel, right? That's why it's a partnership, right? It's not just one. It's just not just I'm man, hear me roar. You're beating your chest and that's it. What I mean by that is that you know that at the end of the day, that God built you for a reason. He created you for a reason. Remember, we're creating this image, right? And our job is to make sure that we become the best representation of that. You know, your strength is through Christ, right? You know that we're more than conquerors. You know that if you look at anything that you've gone through in life and you're still here, that means you've accomplished and you conquered a lot, right? We all have our ups and downs. So you use that as strength and courage to, like, yo, me, myself, I need to be like this person. I need to be like that person, or this person seems like they have it better than I do, so I need to have their type of life. You don't know what they're dealing with. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know what struggles that they have and that they currently are dealing with. You look at yourself, what you overcome, what you have accomplished, you know what I'm saying? And look at that and stand on that, because every single day that you are able to wake up in the morning, that means you conquered the day before. I don't care if it was a depressing day. I don't care if it's anxiety. I don't care what you deal with, right? You were able to go to bed and wake up the next day, which means it gave you another chance. God gave you another chance to live and fight another day. And that's the part that we as men have to always remember. Every single day we grow stronger. Even though it may not feel like it, but every day we go stronger. Like, think about it. if Fred, and if each one of you guys, even including myself and any guys who's on the chat or anybody in the chat in general, look at the worst moment that you went through in your life.
Let's talk about it, bro.
And think about where you at now.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying? Just think about that for a second. When you think about it, like, yo, I survived. I actually was able to overcome a lot. And with that, you gain what? Strength. You gain wisdom. You gain knowledge. You gain so much. So which means when something else comes in, you know how to handle it, right? Because you know who you are. You know who you are through Christ.
Yeah.
Because you see that God got me out of all of this. And that's the other part, is understanding and knowing that God got me through this. I didn't get through this on my own.
Yeah.
God got me through this. Even when I felt alone, God was right by my side.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Even when I felt like, yo, I'm not able to get up, God was right there. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's like, I always say, kind of like, when you look at try to simplify things, look at the simple things in life, right? Look at just like, yo, I woke up this morning, went to work, I came home. Yo, I came home safely. Yo, that means I had a good day. No matter what transpired, I had a good day, because how many people we see on the news and through social media that don't come home? They're not seen another day. Rest in peace, Takeoff. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, Hurricane G. You know what I'm saying? We see so
rest in peace,
many
all black
people.
men at this moment.
And that's my point. It's kind of looking at the small things and looking at that as a ultimate blessing. You know what I'm saying? And so, that's my whole point with that. And when you see that, you don't need to identify anybody else, because you know who you are, and you know what you are built for, and you know what you're able to deal with.
Yeah, I want to touch on what Mary Linda says in the comments. She said, these days, the simple things are so significant. Coming home is such a blessing. And yo, that's facts.
Yeah.
Like I saw this post right on TikTok. It was this post, this woman, she's like, this is what happens when you date a guy from Dubai, right? And she was showing her text messages like, oh, that Birkin bag you sent me was so ugly. Here's this much money to buy another one. So then she starts showing all these pictures of all these bags, these shoes, all of this, these trips and all of that stuff. I said, yeah, that's beautiful. I saw this today and I was like, yo, that's beautiful that she's showing all of these material things. But are you going to show the picture of you crying? Are you going to show the picture of you guys getting into an argument? Are you going to show that picture of all of these different? Nobody will ever show those pictures. They're gonna only show us the glitz and the glamour,
30 seconds.
highlight reels of what's going on, but you don't know what she has to go through to keep that lifestyle.
And I think unfortunately Instagram and social media has done I've said this before, and I'm going to say this throughout our Top Shelf production journey. Social media has not allowed us, humanity, to grow and begin to say, hey, I think I need to learn how to love myself, because I'm loving this false image of what other people look like and feel like. But it's very easy. I'm be honest, if you're young and you're naive and you get to a place in your age and your thoughts are saying, I want to be that, because look how many likes I get. I want to have that. Look how much followers I have. Damn, everybody's saying, oh, he's the one. But at no point in your life you have said to yourself, are you the one? Are you making it for yourself? Are you doing it for yourself?
Absolutely.
That's so true.
What thoughts are you having in your head? What substance do you have in your head? If this person was to leave, are you going to be codependent on that person?
Absolutely.
Depend on your followers, man.
You got to be the person, this like Anthony said, this generation with followers, with all of those things have made you get into this mindset like, oh my God, if I lose 100 followers. Like I heard this girl say the other day, she was like, I lost, what'd she say? She said, I lost 100 followers yesterday and I'm just devastated. I was like, is that real? Or is this fake?
Black Mirror talked about this.
Yeah, it's like
100 people that she's probably never met.
And they might be robots, bro. Literally. Yeah.
But people don't even care about that, because as long as it equals to a lot of followers.
But if
as long as I can say in my communication, but I got 100K followers. What you got?
But get this, Ant. They more concerned about losing followers and less concerned about losing people in real life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like people treat funerals like and people dying like patty cake, like whatever. Like, oh, okay, this is a quick thing. Like like, for instance, Takeoff passed away, right?
Oh, good.
I didn't want to. I didn't want to believe it, right? In my mind, when I heard it, I was like, that is impossible. That is like literally impossible in my mind. I didn't want to believe it. I didn't go into the rabbit hole of like looking at all these pictures and looking for more stuff because I didn't want to believe it, right? Mm-hmm. And people were telling me, I was hearing from friends that like, yo, people were taking pictures of his body and doing all stuff. I'm like, what the hell are we doing?
Yeah.
As a people, we don't care. We really don't have respect for death anymore.
Yeah.
We don't have respect for at least his family. Yeah, he's Takeoff to us, but to his family, you know,
I told you we lost empathy, bro. I think
about it. Society, we don't respect life.
Yeah, we don't respect life. I think
Gilly, you can't respect death.
Gilly from $1 Million Game said the best. Like, what the hell is going on with humanity, bro? Like, you are literally recording. Like, sometimes moms, dad, families get the information before someone can call them. Like, yo, something happened to it. Like, yo, something happened to Takeoff. But they scrolling like, oh shit, that's my son. Like, how many news has happened? I happened to Bobby Smoke. I mean, it's not Bobby Smoke. Pop Smoke. That happened to Pop Smoke. That happened to all these individuals. Kevin Samuels.
Yeah.
Like all these individuals.
Happened to Kobe as well. Happened to Kobe with Kobe's death. Because the thing is, we created this though. That's the problem.
My thing. I don't know if this is something that is a trend, and I don't have no facts or pattern, but this is my emotional thought. But these are a lot of black bodies. We making news faster than anything.
Because again, the world we live in now, the society we live in now, we created a lot of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And we want to point a lot of fingers, but we created this. We took advantage of what social media is, right? We didn't create social media, right? We didn't create Facebook. We didn't create Instagram. We didn't create TikTok, Snapchat, or any of those things. But we took advantage of it, right? Obviously took advantage to be able to post our life, post the content and everything. But what happens is that we don't hold any of these blogs. We don't hold any of these things, any of these people accountable for anything, right? And so what happens is that, like, people are quick to pull out their phone and to record somebody getting murdered, right? Because they want it to go viral. Absolutely. They want to see if maybe it'll make the shade room, because what happens is if it goes viral, their likes are going to go up, their followers are going to go up.
And they can get money for it, unfortunately.
And that's why I said we created it. Like, I don't want to say we created it, but like we're also partly responsible.
Media
because what happens is that we don't, as much as we could shout out, yo, this is wrong, this, that, and the third of cases, but guess what's going to happen? Some of those people, the same one that's going to share those videos, you know what I'm saying? You know, they end up doing the same thing. We have created a society where it's like everything is up for grabs as far as what we want to put out into social media.
Yeah.
And that's why I said like, there is no respect for life, which means if there's no respect for life, that means there damn sure can be respect for death. People don't care. They may be quote unquote somewhat sympathetic, but at the same time, it's like, yo, if I could get this news out before everybody else, I am going to go viral. Not thinking like what Anthony said, that his parents, his family, his loved ones may not even heard the news yet, but they're seeing it by scrolling through Instagram that, wait, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, hold on, what happened to Takeoff? Or whoever it is. Unfortunately, like, we live life through social media so much that we just don't. We'll put things out there just because we want it to go viral. No matter how true it is, no matter how inaccurate it is, no matter how false it is, you know what I'm saying, or no matter how personal it is. Because as long as that we can get our likes and follows, to go back what we're saying, have people clap for us, people champion us, people to, you know, to try to root for us in the background, or what we perceive as what it is in our figure imagination. That's all that matters. That's all that matters at the end of the day. We don't care about anything else but that as a society now.
Yo, I asked if you're on this page at this moment, if you followed us, or you just this year and going forward, use your page for positive image. Like shout your friend's business, put up a scripture, talk about something. When women read, that's an amazing tribe that Ayana is creating. Build a community, show something that is just positive. Like, just like I tell my kids, there's so much evil in the world. But if you can start with yourself and build from a great piece of just humanity, you can help the world, man. I think we're getting, and I really think we're losing neighborhoods. We're losing the definition of love. And I think this weekend, that's what I saw. Like, we were hiking. We were having our own good time. But, wow, it's just an opportunity where there's no service and people just talk to each other.
It's so sad. Like, me, Jeff, Anthony, we talk about this in our chat all the time. Like, a rapper died. It feel like, no, it is the truth. A rapper dying every week. Literally. A rapper is dying every single week. And it's just like, it's more than just like, oh yeah, the music is to blame. Nah, bruh. Something's going on. Something's wrong.
We gotta look at the pattern now. I think
it's not about music no more.
It's not about music. The same way I think, and I use this analogy, the same way they're going so hard on Kyrie or Kanye West, I think we now have to look at ourselves and say, what is going on with the black body? What's going on with the media? How can we change how music comes out? How can we change the education system? How can we change black on black crime? We the new generation of KKK, kings killing kings. We literally the new generation of KKK, kings killing kings. That's the conversation. So it's like, at this moment tomorrow, I know people are going out to vote. Like, how are you
definitely.
How are you going to be a part of the black community? Are you just going to be here just for our vote? Or are you going to be here for a lifestyle?
Look at the policies.
Literally, I don't know if this is something I saw on the page, but let's normalize black bodies. Like, that's something that's so important. Like, let's normalize black bodies. Let's talk about that. More than someone saying about God and things of that nature. Yes, God is amazing. But let's normalize having a conversation about the black body.
But see, but that's where it starts though. It starts with the conversation about knowing who you are through God. Because once you understand who you are through God, and understand the real definition, because you mentioned about love, people lost love. The true definition of love and how that symbolizes with God, how it symbolizes with Christ, you're going to know how to love and respect other people, even if you have a disagreement. I'm always going to keep saying this. One of my favorite scriptures in the Bible is, love yourself as you love your neighbor, right? Or love your neighbor as you love yourself. And the reason why I always say that, and I feel like and even the Bible says it's one of the most important laws. You know what I'm saying? The most important law, it says, I think it's in Mark 12 verse 31, and he says, like, because they asked us, like, what's the most important law, right? And says, love God with all your strength, all your heart, and all your might. But the second one is love your neighbor as you love yourself. So once you do that, once you're able to, like, I love Anthony, right? As much as me and Anthony could bump heads, but I love Anthony to where it's like, I give him the grace. He gives me the grace, right? We could bump heads and we're still going to be good. Like, I would never do harm to Anthony because I love him. There's people that I don't know like that, But if I see them, I'm going to shout them out. I'm going to show them love. I'm going to support them. I'm going to clap for them in the back with no intentions of wanting anything and anything at all. I don't need anything. Why? Because I love that person. It doesn't mean that we're best friends. It doesn't mean anything. It just means that I have enough respect level and love to where I want to see you win. But I get that from not the basis of the world sees, because the world teaches to love. The world teaches us to love yourself, which we should. We need to love ourselves. But the other part that we forget too is to like understand what that love means and where does it come from when we do love ourselves and how that represents. Because then once we're able to do that, guess what? We're going to stop killing each other. We're going to stop, you know what I'm saying, promoting violence and not expecting that what we manifest and what we speak and what we listen to and what we project and promote, that it comes into real life. And then we're shouting out, rest in peace. Oh man, this needs to stop. Da 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 da. And then again, it happens again. Next thing you know, it's bang bang, shoot 'em up. Bang bang ops. And I'm a hip hop head. But I want our culture to start taking accountability and responsibility for what we are doing, because we're not. We're constantly just pointing fingers, and we could talk about like how the record companies control this, and they do. But then we need to stand up and say, "Yo, all right, we're not gonna listen to this type of music no more. We demand, you know what I'm saying, a balance in the music. We demand that it's not only gonna be overly sexualized and violent content." Because that's what these kids emulate, and they think that's what's popping. Is by going out there and doing that, and they get on their social media, and it's like, yo, they got to promote this life that they live. You know what I'm saying? Because they figure, again, it's going to get them views, going to help them go viral. It's a vicious cycle that keeps going on and on and on and on and on and on. I remember I have a friend, right, where I remember she had posted on her social media, like she was like, this was like a couple of years ago. She posted something. She was like, man, everybody wants to see like, everybody wants to put this positive talk. I don't want to always see positive messages on my timeline. You know what I'm saying? I want to see some ratchetness and stuff like that. And I remember seeing that, and I remember I was a little disappointed because I know personally, and I was just like, man, it's like people rather support and like things that are more detrimental to our community versus support things that are positive in our community. Because if it is in social media, it's like it doesn't get as much likes, it doesn't go as much viral, with the cases. But the more negative that it is, the better it is. You know what I'm saying? The more false it is, the more it goes viral because it sounds better, it looks better. You know what I'm saying? It feeds into our flesh versus into our spirit. And all that to me is like it's a distraction. All this is intentional. All this stuff is being done to distract us from everything else versus what we need to do. There's not one answer. There's so many other things that we have to do. Go out and vote. Be involved in your community. We need to fix the education system. You know what I'm saying? We need to be more involved in the Black community. There's policies and things like that needs to change. All these different things, right? It's not just one layer. It's multiple layers.
Yes.
But I think the foundation of what needs to take place which is an unpopular suggestion and opinion, is us as the Black community start holding each other accountable for the things that we are doing that are detrimental to our community.
I think we go back to what we were talking about from the beginning. I think our community needs to learn how to love themselves.
Word up.
And I think I was listening to another podcast and saying you don't see people like J. Cole or Kendrick Lamar getting like in these type of violence. And rest in peace to Takeoff. Like Takeoff wasn't even a person that like pops off on things. He's just a quiet person. People didn't even know who Takeoff was because he was so quiet. He was always in the cut. So I'm like thinking to myself, going back to my thought process, even down to like J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, and these amazing cultural rappers. When you rap about the lifestyle, you got to think about it's gonna come back to you. Yeah. Not saying about Takeoff. I'm just saying about rap. So at the end of the day, our community needs to begin to learn how to heal, love, and reshape the conversation going forward. Like Jeff said, allow ourselves to be accountable for each other.
Yeah.
The same way you say, I like what the I like when say, for example, like if something comes out, it's like, nope, we canceling that. And you saw, same way with Kanye. He said some outlandish things. One person said, we need to cancel him. One person said, and they all follow suit. Because why? It's a whole family. Even though we might not like each other, but we're a whole family. That's the same way we would treat anything. Hey, you know what, Shade Room? Take that down. That's not showing positive image. Okay. And then that's how we look at it.
I think you know what happens, Aunt, is that anytime we
but unfortunately, hold on, one more thought. Unfortunately, that's not gonna happen because positive doesn't sell.
The hardest part is we point the finger right in the mirror. Like if we're in the mirror and we point that finger, toward ourselves, right? And the hardest part is like when you're trying to get everybody else around you to point that finger to themselves, right?
Looking the man in the mirror, Michael Jackson.
The messed up part is that, like, to Jeff's point, is like everybody taking accountability. It can't just be this group. You know what I'm saying? This group of black people over here. It got to be all these groups. But the messed up part is that people keep saying, you know, in society, they keep doing this thing where, like, that ain't what's gonna solve it. That's not what's gonna solve it. We don't have to take accountability for nothing. It's these cops. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no, we start with us,
ourselves,
bruh.
start with our community.
Like, I was like,
we need cleansing.
I saw this comedian say he was trying to tell this joke, but he was like being real. He was like, what? He said, white people. He's like, I don't know why white folks are scared of us. He was like, I looked at the statistics. He was like, we're too busy killing each other. He said, so if I got a gun, like, I'm not aiming for you. He's like, I'm trying to tell you to move out the way so I can shoot this black dude behind you. It's a joke. Like it was saying that in satire, but at the same time, it's the truth.
It's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? And like, that's the sad part. But we want to keep saying, that's not we don't need to take accountability, because the problem is the white man, we keep switching it, you know, but we don't take that. We don't say like, yo, we need to get back to that, us loving our community. I ain't down with that unity, that black, ebony, that African, whatever, you know, it ain't got to be an African thing. It's a self thing. It's a human thing.
So I say this, and I know it's time, but like you said, start with yourself, man.
That's it.
If you yourself look like positivity, if you yourself calling up your friend and say, hey, bro, I'm just checking in on you, how you doing? Right. Being accountable for your brothers, being accountable for your wife. It starts with you.
Absolutely.
I don't know how 20 years from now, if we still gonna have this conversation. Hopefully we don't, but if we do, I know that my environment, it breeds positivity. It breeds in an environment of love. It breeds an environment of peace. It breeds an environment of wealthiness. It breeds an environment of nurturing. It breeds an environment of just godly love. Like, people you see in my environment just love on each other. So that's how I'm gonna live my life. I don't know about other people, but I'm gonna start, like you said, Fred, like you said, Jeff. You know what? Today I'm gonna start doing it myself, because I don't know how other people gonna do it, because I can't control the shade room. I can't control the spiritual world. I can't control those stuff, but I can control what I do when I wake up in the morning.
That's absolutely correct. And tomorrow's a holiday.
Yes.
It's Top Shelf Tuesday tomorrow. Let us not forget, to everybody that is in here, to our village, we have a brand new episode dropping for season 4 tomorrow. Heroes and Villains.
Ooh.
This was an amazing conversation. Heroes and Villains. just know that this conversation, man, there was so many great points that were made by Jeff, by Anthony, by myself. I loved this conversation, how it evolved. Y'all definitely don't want to miss it. Dropping tomorrow. And Anthony,
you can find it on these multiple platforms.
Put the screen down. Put the screen down.
The Top Shelf Podcast. You can find it on
screen
Anchor.
down.
You can definitly find Stitcher, Apple, Spotify, Amazon. If you like what you're seeing, YouTube, please, once again, Anchor. I want to go back to Anchor a little bit. I've been saying this since last week, the other week. Once we get to 50, it does open up sponsorship. So please, please, please make sure you listen in and leave a comment. Leave some information. Tell us what you think about it. If you like it, if you did not like it, if you like the thought or you want us to expand on a thought, let us know. Write us in the DM. We are always here 24/7. Somebody's always controlling the chat or controlling the DMs. Please, let's have a conversation, build with us, and let's create a better tomorrow.
That is true. That is true. That is true. Yo, so look, make sure y'all check out our new episode for tomorrow, and we're gonna leave you on this. What is your word of the week?
Yo, love, man.
Love
like and happiness.
What's yours, Jeff?
I'm gonna echo what Anthony said. Love. We need that more.
Yeah.
I would say my word definitely is just peace. More than anything, because I think that's what we need a lot of. There's so many distractions going on, and it's so many things in the media. We're getting hit, and rest in peace to Aaron Carter too, like, because he was such a pivotal part of my childhood.
Yeah,
you know, in terms of music, and like mental illness is real, and a drug addiction is real. And just, you know, check in, like Anthony was saying, check in on your friends, you know?
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, make sure y'all check out our new episode.
Make sure y'all vote.
Streaming platforms tomorrow. Our link is in the bio. And just know that we're going to see y'all the same time.
Yep. Play this song.
Monday, 9 p.m. Anthony, I hope your wife has an amazing session.
She does. She can have another better session.
Until next Monday.
I'm gonna play this song till we go out.
As Jeff shakes his head. Until next Monday, everybody. Peace.
What's going on?
One love.